Chargers have made a move. The Chargers are injured. The Niners are injured. The Chargers traded for an edge rusher. The Niners need an edge rusher. Who would you say is now the most realistic trade target for the Niners, given the fact that the Bengals just traded for Joe Flacco and don't seem to be throwing in the towel just yet?
Well, yeah, I mean, the Bengals would be the team that I would want to call, right? Because they have Trey Hendrickson and they also have Miles Murphy. And Murphy's a great athlete. And he's a big bodied guy. And the Niners like bigger defensive ends. So I really like what Cincinnati has. So I'd like to call Cincinnati. To me, New Orleans makes a lot of sense. I mean, I think Granderson's from Oakland. Carl Granderson is an Oakland guy. So I think, or maybe he's a Sacramento guy. I think he's a Sacramento guy. Excuse me. He's a Sacramento guy.
I know every single person that lives in Oakland.
He's a NorCal guy. He went to Grant High School in Sac. And so I like Granderson and I like Gottschalk. And I think the 49ers could really use two players up front. One more run defender would be great. One more edge rusher would be great. I like that. I like that idea. I like going to New Orleans for Granderson and Gottschalk.
If they could get Trey Hendrickson, that would be great, but it would be tricky. You'd have to trade a second round pick, and then you'd probably have to trade Nick Bosa next year. And you could do all of that. You have to give this guy a huge extension. But I think they could also their defense is good right now. If they could get like another Bryce Huff, a guy that you don't really want starting and is kind of a one-trick pony, but he does give you some pressure off the edge. That's all they need. That's all they need. They don't need a 3-down player whatsoever. So I don't know who that guy is, but they should be able to find that player for $7-8 million.
Arden Key, is he that kind of a player?
I'd like more of an edge rusher. Although any pass rusher would help, but it seems like he would be cutting into Michael's playing time role.
It's really difficult because I don't think there's going to be that many sellers. I mean, if you literally looked around, who's going to sell? Nobody in the NFC West is going to sell. If they are, they're not going to sell to the Niners. So take out the NFC West, take out the AFC West, because then none of those teams are going to sell except for the Raiders, and Mark Davis wouldn't sell to the Niners. So you can take out those 8 teams. And then the AFC South, Colts, Jags, Texans aren't selling. So it's maybe Tennessee. They have Arden Key. I'll tell you, the Jeffrey Simmons idea, I mean, that seems so unattainable. I'd rather have Jeffrey Simmons than Hendrickson. I mean, Jeffrey Simmons is just an absolute monster inside, and you can rush him off the edge. He's like a Chris Jones. I mean, he literally is the closest thing in the NFL there is to Chris Jones. So I would definitely go knocking on their door, but I think and then, Tampa, Falcons, they're not going to sell. So maybe Panthers, Saints. Panthers don't have tons. Vikings, Packers, Lions, Bears. I don't see those teams selling, even though maybe one should. Steelers, Browns, Bengals, Ravens. I mean, the Ravens are the interesting team because they sold Oweh today to the Chargers. So maybe they're open for business. But maybe Miami with Jalen Phillips. Maybe the Jets with 2 or 3 guys. There's not a lot of there's not a lot of sellers.
Jermaine Johnson, Jalen Phillips. Those are.
I mean, the Jets make a lot of sense. Will McDonald would be a great get for the Niners because that's what you're talking about. You said they need a Bryce Huff. Will McDonald is a 24-year-old, 25-year-old version of Bryce Huff. So I'd be all about that.
Prize Picks will give you $50 when you play your first $5 lineup. Win or lose, you'll get $50 for playing. Use promo code Cohn, COHN, and download the app now.
And he's with the Jets. Robert Saleh coached them. It could work. They're going nowhere, and maybe they want to go in a different direction with some of Aaron Glenn's guys. It doesn't seem like the Jets are. Did you see that tweet from Saleh's brother?
No.
He was like,
what did he say?
It's been about a year since the Jets fired my brother because the quote unquote best roster in franchise history needed a spark. Since then, they're 3-14 and they have the worst defense in football.
Right.
Yep.
They fired a defensive coach and replaced him with another defensive coach, and their defense is worse off.
That's a terrible franchise. I don't think anyone can succeed there.
No. Anyway. Woody Johnson, I mean, come on, man. I mean, that they're just, that's just some teams. It's just, it's going to take more than just a player or a coach. It's going to take literally, ownership regime change before they're going to wash themselves, cleanse themselves. I think the Jets are one of those
The
teams.
Warriors were like that once upon a time.
Exactly.
Heavyweight
They were
Hank
never going to win for Cohan,
Oh,
ever.
no, absolutely
No
not. Heavyweight Hank says, "What do you think about the Niners trading for Njoku?" I think
Njoku's a big, tough tight end who's a hell of a receiver. I've always felt like Njoku is a massive talent that has never played with a good quarterback and could really explode and be great. I think he's totally available because Harold Fannin Jr., the rookie, is getting a lot of targets. It's obviously they're going nowhere. Njoku's at that point where he could probably leave in free agency at the end of the year. If I could get Njoku, he was great with the Hurricanes. He's big. He's a blocker. He's a receiver. I mean, he would be a really nice. He's a blue chip athlete.